Hello and welcome. We are on to the last day of the semifinals here at the GomTV Averatec-Intel Classic. My name is Nick Plott, also known as Tasteless, and I am very excited to be casting these games today. BackHo, a Protoss player, against Flash, a Terran. We started out this tournament with 128. We whittled the player number down to 3. In a few hours, maybe even an hour, it's going to be down to the final 2. Can BackHo manage to take on the Terran player Flash? It's going to be pretty tough. I'm not going to pretend that it won't be for him, but then again, BackHo has been preparing a lot for this. I got a chance to talk to him backstage briefly, as well as his coach. They said that they have really been training BackHo hard and watching and studying a lot of Flash games to try to figure out his weakness, his Achilles heel, so they can take him down. I did not get the opportunity to speak with Flash. I was doing a mic test, but I'm fairly confident that Flash has been spending a lot of time preparing for this as well. Our map lineup is going to be Colosseum first, second Othello, and finally we're going to have Hills of Storm. Now if we go to the fourth and the fifth match, it'll be Blue Storm and Colosseum again. Colosseum, pretty interesting map. It is a map where you do get an extra expansion pretty quickly. We do see a lot of fast nexus, also a lot of proxy builds. I doubt we'll be seeing any proxy builds on this map in this game with these two players, however. Well, I know we've been getting a lot of hits for the games. We've been trying to get more and more bandwidth so we can handle all of this traffic. Hopefully it's going to be going well. I did understand there were some problems last time. We do apologize for that, but we should have it fixed up, hopefully. Also, just for your information, feel free to try our clean source broadcasting service. It should be up and available. I do believe we're going to be putting up some older, more classic games so that you can broadcast some of these games, and it doesn't have to be while the big match is going on. You can broadcast games later on. So feel free to try that. Give us some feedback on that as well. Now, Jaedong has already made it to the finals, and speaking of finals, yesterday at the MSL, I think we were all a little surprised to see that Jaedong got dominated by Never V so easily, also known as 4GG. I could not believe that Jaedong lost like that. I mean, I knew that Never V was good. We saw him in this tournament before he was eliminated, but I wasn't really expecting a 3-0 clean sweep. I actually bet $15 on that game, and I lost my money. So I am pretty mad at Jaedong right now, but we're going to see if he can't come back and dominate in this tournament as well. There is a lot on the line in this event. The largest tournament in Korea, the largest prize pool. So we'll see who Jaedong is going to be facing in just a little bit here. A lot of people want a Flash versus Jaedong final, but of course, if BackHo manages to defeat Flash and go on to the finals, that will be huge. So we'll see very soon here exactly what openers they have mapped out in their brains, what type of strategies we're going to be seeing in just a few moments. Oh, and just as a reminder, the finals are not going to be next Sunday. We're going to have a little bit of time off, give the players a little bit of extra practice time. So the finals are actually going to be, I believe, on August 9th. They will be held at City Hall in, of course, Seoul, Korea. We will try to get some information on the website so that if you are an English speaker and are interested in showing up at the event and seeing some games casted live, see these two titans, Jaedong and whoever else it'll be, face it off, you can go down there and check it out yourself. And I've been getting a lot of messages online, people asking if this is going to be it. No, this is a seasonal event that we're running here. So once Season 1 finishes, we're probably going to take about a month break, and then we're going to go right into Season 2. So expect a lot more StarCraft action. We've been doing really well with this event. We've been getting a lot of hits, not just in Korea, but internationally. So expect more great StarCraft games coming up. Now, Flash is one of these players who's just so solid. He doesn't really have a weak point. He pretty much outmasses his opponents in Terran versus Protoss. He's got a lot of different builds he does too. I think the one that that's become most popular, and you'll see a lot of good Terrans using it now on ICCUP.net, is of course his fast armory build, where he gets a second armory later on, pushes out when he has the +2 attack, +1 armor. Very difficult for Protoss to deal with. Siege tanks in siege mode can deal so much more damage with those upgrades. So, interestingly enough, for the maps they eliminated, we did see BackHo actually eliminate Katrina, what a lot of people believe to be a Protoss map, but also a map that Flash is very strong on. The map that Flash eliminated was Andromeda. That doesn't surprise me too much. I think that map would suit a standard style player like BackHo. BackHo, not incredibly creative, but just straight up solid, so we're probably going to see a lot of macro action here, although who knows, we may see some BackHo mixing it up just a little bit to try to throw Flash off. These players do, of course, watch each other's games and study very hard to try to figure out their opponent's playing style so they can open up with something that will get them ahead. So occasionally you do see players mix it up. So in, I believe, a few minutes, we're going to get this going. I do see both the players have joined the game, greeting each other. A referee has now joined the game as well. And we do actually have 3 GOM TV observers in there. So in just a second, we're going to get this going. BackHo against Flash. This is a huge match for the event, for these players, and in StarCraft history. BackHo does not want to look like Shuttle did last weekend. Shuttle got completely owned. He got annihilated, 3-0'd by Jaedong. So that was a little bit shocking. I don't think it's going to be the same thing this time around, though. Well, get ready for some more action. I believe we're getting the cue to get this going. Get ready. No, I lied. I was fooled. I was duped. They're just showing us the map lineup, which I've already told you. BackHo and Flash. By the way, I think I was actually spotted while I was at the MSL. I was sitting in the stands. I think you could see me eating a hot dog for a brief second before they cut back to the action. We do know that Jaedong is going to be practicing a lot for this event. Now that he's been eliminated from the MSL, he really wants to come home with a first place at this tournament. BackHo, just a very strong Protoss. We've already seen a couple of his games before. We did see BackHo eliminate Stork, which was pretty shocking, but he certainly deserved it. He outplayed Stork on every front, so I think that was no surprise there. I think most of us were expecting to see this as Flash against Stork, but that did not turn out to be the case. Flash currently ranked number 1 in the world right now, the highest ranked Terran, the highest ranked StarCraft player. Jaedong was number 1 for what I believe was 5 months in Kespa, but just got bumped down because Flash has been dominating so well. A lot of people said that Flash should have been number 1 even quicker ahead. Kespa recognized GOM TV's tournaments as part of the rating system, so clearly Flash had been dominating for a while. BackHo's definitely up there, but not quite as high ranked. BackHo, though, one of the newer Protosses on the scene. These new players are never failing to surprise us. Nobody can stay king forever, it seems like in StarCraft. Cheers to all the community sites, Team Liquid, ICCUP.net. I did not get the opportunity to do any laddering this weekend or in the past few days, but I'm probably going to get on there starting tomorrow. I'm going to be pumped to do some more Protoss action after seeing this series played out. So only 3 gamers left in the tournament, 1 Zerg, 1 Protoss, and 1 Terran. It's either going to be a Zerg versus Terran or a Zerg versus Protoss in the finals. Oh, looks like the gamers are ready. So when our Korean commentators feel like closing it up, we're going to get this going. So grab some popcorn or a beer. Get ready. This event is going to be huge. These games are going to be pretty serious. No turning back now. So once again, in case it's getting duped here, getting a little bit more of a... Well, getting a look at the stats over here. And previous accomplishments, we can see BackHo is very strong. And here we can see in English exactly what he's managed to accomplish. Now he's got to face Flash, though, and that's going to be really, really tough. Flash, so young. Well, there's a shot of BackHo, but Flash, so young. Only, I believe, 15 in American years, 17 in Korean. He is a force to be reckoned with. BackHo, not quite as young, but certainly surprising people with how he's just jumped into the pro scene and doing so well. BackHo always seems to look very calm and composed before his games. He doesn't seem to get nervous at all. Here's a shot of Flash. Terrifying player. Garimto has nicknamed this guy the last generation Terran. I'm really curious if there's going to be anybody who's going to be able to top this guy. He is just so incredibly strong. No weak spot, never loses to any form of rush. And his late game is really where he shines. He's just able to outmass, control Terran armies like it's nothing. But he's not in the finals yet. He's got to make it through BackHo, who has knocked out a lot of very good players, such as Gonzi or Godzilla, also known as Cal. Flash did take down Memory and Lucifer in the tournament. These players are, of course, both seeded starting, I believe, at the final 32 or 64. Because they are ranked so high, we do give them an auto berth later on. There's Flash getting in the zone. Oh, and I know some people were asking about the website, which is going to be set up here. We were having some problems with the server because apparently you couldn't visit the site for some reason if you were in Korea. So we're just getting that shifted to another server, which will be done pretty soon here. I do apologize for the delay. I've been really busy doing a lot of other work here too. I was emceeing the eStars Festival, and of course I had to go down to Paris to cast WWI, so I just haven't quite had as much time to focus on all this, but we are going to have a lot of replays on there of me and of other gamers, probably first-person VODs, all sorts of cool stuff. And more than likely articles on how to learn how to play StarCraft yourself, because I know we've attracted a lot of people who really have no experience with competitive gaming or RTS games in general, so we're probably going to have some guides and stuff like that. It should be pretty cool. It should be done before the finals. That's the plan for now. All right, the gamers are asking why it's taking so long now. I'm looking inside the game at the chat, so we're probably going to get this going pretty soon here. I can't believe we are finally at this phase now. We've come so far. So many gamers got here. No losers bracket, so this is a very unforgiving tournament, and we are now finally at the end of the semifinals. Unbelievable. I remember before the tournament started, my boss asked me who I thought would probably make it to the finals, and I said, well, off the top of my head, I would probably guess Jaedong and Flash, but I'm just not sure. And it looks like that may be the case. We'll at least have Jaedong in here. I'm really curious to see how BackHo is going to play during these games, since he is such a standard player. Well, BackHo and Flash, two very powerful gamers. And it looks like we're going to get it going right now. Hopefully I'm not going to be wrong again.
최고의 프로토스 무결점의 총사령관 승병구를 만나
장점이 있으시던데요
라고 하며 백장과 오기로 맞붙은 승차로 결국 이를 내고 말았는데 그날 이후 성창리의 프로토스전 승률은 70% 이상으로 껑충 뛰었고 자신감도 함께 뛰어올랐다. 꽃신을 신고 뛰어보자 팔짝 머리가 하늘까지 닿겠네.
테라는 똑같아요.
테란이 다 똑같다뇨. 솔직한 마음은 주현준이 올라오길 바라는 거 아닙니까?
상훈이가 테란 선수님이 별론 걸로 아는데 못 믿고 그런데요?
그러나 지난 8강에서도 사람들은 1대2 손잡고 송병구의 승리를 예상하지 않았는가. 손찬웅은 모두의 예상을 또 한 번 뒤엎을 만한 폭발력 있는 인물이다.
저 아시죠? 저 고작입니다. 사실 지난번 송병구 선수 틀린 거는 전혀 예상치 못했던 일인데 어쨌든 우연은 한 번으로 족하고요.
이번에는 아마 쉽지 않을 겁니다. 상대가 누굽니까? 최종 경기 이영호인데요.
그렇게 안 가면 실망이네요.
실망할 것 없다. 경기로 보여주면 그만이다. 그런데 상대는 새끼호랑이에서 해병호랑이로 성장한 이영호.
가야 할 걸 당연히 간 것 같습니다.
당연히 가야 할 걸 가다뇨. 다들 2대0으로 이길 줄 알았죠. 그런데 세상에 2세트 진 거 모릅니까? 깜짝하면 탈락할 뻔했죠.
느낌이에요. 64강 2라운드에서는 영호가 그때 신의한테 한 방 먹었었잖아요. 그 영호는 그런 거 잊으면 안 되죠.
김연아 이영호. 그대는 랭킹 1위가 아닌가. 다시 한번 여기라고.
저 1위예요.
갈 필요 없는 17세 소년 이영호는 그 많은 걸 갖고도 아직 갖고 싶은 게 많기만 하다.
원래 급하게 뭐를 가려고 하면 최악이 마련인데 좀 천천히 가는 것도 필요하지 않겠습니까? 말은 이렇게 해도 어쨌든 이기는 건 이영호 선수가 이길 겁니다.
부기자님 예상을 너무 좋아하시는데요. 랭킹 1위가 치면 계절의 자신이죠. 손찬웅 선수 무시하다가 큰 코 다치는 수가 있습니다.
결승을 100m 앞에다 두고 무너질 순 없는 법. 결승의 각오를 다짐하는 두 선수의 얘기를 들어보자.
일격 포즈가 다 흡사합니다. 누가 그래요? 그래서요?
언뜻 보기엔 친구 같은 두 선수. 르카포즈 손찬웅과 KTF 매트겐스 이영호가 4강에서 만났다. 마지막 남은 결승 투의 판정은 과연 누구에게 들어갈 것인가?
All right, it started up. Here's our Protoss player BackHo at the bottom right side of the map. At the top left is Flash. Colosseum, a very interesting map. Kind of have this valley that leads out of your base and expansion, which is pretty easy to secure. This is a map that both these players have practiced a lot on, since it is the first map and quite possibly the last map that we will see played here. Understanding how to open up on a map like this is critical. And it looks like BackHo sending a probe pretty early here. And I guess we're going to see BackHo do what BackHo does normally not do, which is actually proxy. I'm pretty surprised. This is not very typical for BackHo. Now, Flash, generally, from what I understand, checks the center for stuff like this. That doesn't mean that will stop the proxy automatically, but what it does mean is that he may detect this a little bit sooner, and that will give him more time to respond. Now, looks like he's going to go for the one-gate proxy. Now, the problem for BackHo right now is going to be the Flash is walling in, which makes a proxy like this Well, now Flash is going to sit back and start massing up, using that Wraith to continue to scout. Here's the probe transfer. So now we're transitioning from that early rush game to a more macro-oriented game. You can see Flash isn't too comfortable yet. He hasn't gone out and taken out the proxy in the center, which would force his opponent to make another cybernetics core. And here is Flash's dreaded armory rush build. He's going to go for the upgrades. I think that makes a lot of sense because he already does have the starport out, so getting the science facility isn't going to be too difficult. With that in mind, this build really complements what's going on so far. He did lose his scouting Wraith back there, so he'll probably have to get an academy pretty soon here. Some pretty good artwork on those pictures. Pretty good timing here now for the engineering bay, because it's probably around this point in time when we'll be seeing observers from the Protoss, so he wants to get those turrets up so that the Protoss can't spot that fast armory. Meanwhile, we're going to see another expansion over here. Probably well-timed for our Protoss player, although he's in a bit of a dark. He's really not sure exactly what's going on. He hasn't gotten an observer in there yet, so this is somewhat of a risky move, but it looks like BackHo's pretty confident that, apparently those vultures have been dieting. I didn't think they could actually slip through there. Anorexic vultures in StarCraft. Alright, well, looks like Flash is going to expand again. This is pretty typical for the build. Getting the second add-on, he's only got to pump tanks for a little while. Here is the exchange of probes. Now we're probably going to see our Protoss player make about 6 more gateways. BackHo's going to drive out those vultures. He wants to keep that pylon around. And look at that. If you watch on the mini-map, you can see BackHo is now expanding again. Oh, he's got to be careful. But is he going to see the armory? I do believe he can see. Yes, he's definitely spotted it now. So he knows exactly what Flash is doing. But does BackHo have the correct counter build? Can he time this out correctly? He knows he can get another Nexus safely before. Oh yeah, and you can see the response right now. Pretty interesting response. Double forge. So we're not even going to see the mass gates just yet. This is a pretty smart move, I think, for BackHo. Oh, nice catch there. But Flash will spot that expansion. So both players have a very good idea of what the other is doing, although Flash has not yet spotted the double forge. And I think now, if you look at the mini-map, at the bottom right, we're going to see mass gates coming up here. And usually at this point, Protoss halts pro production and just really focuses on getting a lot of units. Now you can see the Flash is starting to make the extra factories. We didn't get a shot of it, but if you look at the mini-map closer to the top, hold that thought. We do have some harassment on the probes. Nothing too effective. Planting a few mines. Anything you can do to have those Dragoons softened up so that at the late game phase, oh my god, Flash is expanding again. This is probably one of the most macro-intensive games we've seen after a proxy rush. And you can really see that BackHo is preparing very well. He's got the Templar archives. He's got a few Templars, so he's going to put those Templars in the shuttle and Psystorm the army when it comes out, hoping that his matched upgrades and good storming ability can crush Flash's dreaded armory push. And once again, he's going to Expo. He sees the additional command center. Both players are just... I think we're not going to see a battle until Terran is maxed at this point in time. Now, a maxed out Terran army is a little bit stronger than a maxed out Protoss army, and because of that, we normally see Protoss counterattack to try to force a Terran to go back into his main. We also see recall used pretty often. My God, they are expanding a lot. This is ridiculous. Well, Flash has stopped making SCVs, so he's only focusing on making his main army. We may see a storm drop here. Now, this, if he loses his shuttle, it could trigger Flash's push. Not having the Psy Storm really hurts you. And I think Flash is more than prepared. No! Nice save there by BackHo. He's going to pull out. I cannot believe how much expanding is going on in this game. And I gotta say, for BackHo to expand like that, that's pretty gutsy. Here's some more probes being taken down. Probably the most effective probe harassment we've seen so far. Now planting a few more spider mines here. Even though they sound like vultures when they come up. And not like spiders. Well, I think in probably 2 minutes, we're going to see Flash push. Now, Flash has a lot of factories. Oh, my God. So this timing push is going to be huge. Now, the Arbiters seem to be coming out a little bit later than you would have guessed. Probably not too late, considering that we did see some Templars with Psy Storm, as well as the fast upgrades. And look on the mini-map at the top, you can see that I think there's a dropship moving out. Something's moving around. Well, I'm fairly certain that Protoss is maxed. Wow, that's a lot of Templars. Pretty smart, good against a player who's maxed out. Storm's so critical. Nice snipe there, though, by BackHo. Although overall, I have to say, BackHo's done a fantastic job of holding off this push. Now, it's going to come down to whether or not Flash can EMP the Templars. +2, +1. Flash may push right now. Or he may be waiting, realizing how much his opponent has expanded. Anything he can do to get his opponent a little bit more behind. And BackHo is definitely maxed because he's making more gateways now. Oh! Nice harassment here by Flash. Flash only using small numbers of units to just reduce BackHo's probe count slightly. Nice. Once again, Flash taking out some more probes. BackHo really cannot afford to lose probes like that. And he lost a lot of probes. And he's going to go ahead and go in here and just take out the rest of these probes. And I think, well, this is just terrible now for BackHo. That will reduce his food count to make a few more units. The Arbiters are not out yet. Oh, no! Shell shock. Okay, now he sees that the Templars are dead. Now he's going to push out for sure. Yeah, here it is. He's sieging up right at that point. He's trying to bait the Protoss into that area. BackHo's not going to go for it. BackHo's too smart. Oh, the science vessels are getting pretty close. An EMP on those Templars could be it for BackHo. There's no way BackHo can get near that. Flash definitely got a lot of vessels before that push. Very smart. Meanwhile, he's going to expo at the bottom left. BackHo's trying to figure out a way that he can maybe counterattack or delay this push. I cannot believe this game looks like this now after it started out with a double proxy. Floating to command center over here, Flash is now starting to take the bottom left side of the map. Now BackHo needs to figure that out and do something about it. And you can see Flash is just edging around with his army. He knows his army is stronger. And he might go in for these vultures. He did get a storm off. Templar's life wasn't totally in vain. Even upgrades right now. And here's the SCV exchange. And there's an EMP! Shooting the EMPs on all the Protoss units. Ridiculous. Oh, this is going to be really bad now. And I think BackHo might be panicking. He is going to try to go in here and storm, but that definitely wasn't worth it. So many Dragoons were shot down. I'm sure that BackHo is already re-macroing his army out of those gateways. And Flash is now really pushing forward. BackHo probably should be backing up right now. Big mistake by BackHo. He needs to pull out. Terrible storm. That one's a little bit better. BackHo's army has just disappeared, and I think that's going to allow Flash to move down here a little bit further. And yeah, look at that. Flash is going right for the heart of the Protoss base. He's going to skip the expansions. He wants to take out all the tech. This Arbiter won't be too useful with the science vessels around. Maybe if he can get off the stasis. He needs a stasis. That was not a good stasis. He could have done a way better stasis. Nice storm, though. BackHo might be able to hang on. And yes, he will. Flash has now been pushed out. But more Terran units are coming in. Not a very good siege. And here they are coming from two different angles. And BackHo barely managing to hold out Flash's push right now. Flash needs to reinforce, but bear in mind, Flash has already taken the bottom left location on the map. This is a very intense macro game. And here's some more of Flash's units. Some Goliaths coming in here to pick off the Arbiter. He doesn't want to let another stasis come out here. Now these Zealots are going to be a little bit stronger with the lack of Vultures here. Both players will soon be fully upgraded. And here you can see he's trying to use these remaining units to hold off the push, but now Flash is getting a little bit stronger. BackHo just trying to hang on. If he can stop this push, BackHo could be back in this game. Oh my god, I don't think he can stop the push. That's way too many units. I think it may be impossible for him to win now. He's going to get positioned on the ledge and siege up. There it is. Flash is just imbalanced. Somebody nerf this guy, please. BackHo should not have gone in for that attack in the center of the map. He should have gone to the bottom left, or at least done a counterattack. This is going to be, I believe, impossible for BackHo to come back now. And now Flash is actually splitting up his push, going to two locations at once. He has, well, BackHo's basically contained at the bottom, so now he's going to go to the top right. Flash trying to break this, but to no avail. Flash is just too strong on this map, his build. And there it is, GG or ZZ. Wow, well done by Flash there, unbelievable. That was a very good game we saw back there. They both macroed up so much before the final battle. But Flash was just too good with his decision-making in the center of the map. I gotta hand it to him. Flash's build is very good. BackHo, though, did do a very good job that game. He just did not make the right call at the very end. That was certainly a good build to counter Flash's build, but once he threw his army away, Flash was just too strong. He should have gotten, or at least he should have delayed, I should say, his opponent and then gotten that recall and started recalling in Flash's main and kept on recalling. Especially when he saw the another command center at the mineral only. He should have probably gotten the Arbiters before the storm. The storm wasn't necessary. If Terran's expanding again, they're probably not going to push. So Flash is up one game. That doesn't mean he can't come back. And Flash, in fact, just walked right by me. Looks like he's going to go get a bathroom break. So we're going to wait a few minutes here. BackHo also just left his booth. He's going to run to the restroom as well. That was a pretty long game. So I don't blame the players for needing that restroom break. The next map's going to be on Othello. This map may favor counterattacks a little bit more. I'm curious as to how Flash will play it out. Now, what can BackHo do differently? Well, certainly his builds are very well calculated. I think he really showed us that you can actually manage to pull off that many expansions and get so many different upgrades before you actually have an army against a player who's known for having terrifying pushes. On the other hand, he needs to have a better plan for what he's going to do when Flash actually pushes. Because you can see that when Flash came out into the middle of the map, BackHo didn't seem to know exactly what he needed to do, whether that was counterattack, recall, or actually go all in and attack. The moment that he actually did choose to attack was a position where Flash was just way too strong in way too much of a comfortable location. I think once the EMPs happened, BackHo basically panicked. You know what BackHo could have done differently is actually get one Dark Archon and start feedbacking all of those science vessels. Since feedback's only 50 energy, then the EMP wouldn't work. Well, Flash isn't here yet. He's probably still building an armory in the bathroom somewhere. But when he gets back here, we're going to start this game up. Really impressive games here. By the way, I know Team Liquid's hosting a contest on the website where if you can guess the right bracket, you're going to win a prize. J-Dong and Flash have both agreed to give to sign some autographs. So if you win that contest, I don't know if it's still going on, but yes, you will win a J-Dong and Flash autograph. Pretty sick. Okay, looks like BackHo's back in the booth. And that okay, now Flash is in there as well. So they both joined the game. So we're going to start this up pretty soon here. By the way, thanks again to our sponsors at Intel. And get this, we're actually, Mountain Dew is giving us free drinks now. We get free Mountain Dew down here. It's pretty cool. For an extreme game like StarCraft. Such a manly game. Other games are good too. I happen to be a big fan of other esports, but StarCraft is just the #1 challenge in esport. Oh, I think we're going to get this going. Flash against BackHo, game 2. Best of 5 here. Only one of them will go to the finals. Definitely check out our WoW tournament on the website. We will be having some more stuff like that, as well as stuff for other games too. So that should be pretty cool. If you haven't played StarCraft yet, feel free to go out and buy it. I believe the game's only $5, $10, something like that. $10 for the most manly game on Earth. I mean, think about what a bargain that is. Manliness can be that cheap. That's right. All right, okay, hold on. It looks like Flash needs to adjust his mouse or something. No, never mind. It's actually fine. So we are going to get this started. Also, check out our clean source service while you're here. It's on the site. Definitely give that a try. Give us some feedback on that as well. All right, let's